Hello Engen Pitch and Polish fans, it's time for another exciting evening of pitches with me, your host, Aldrin Simpier. Last time, we saw Moses Kekana snag one of those coveted semi-final spots, and this evening we'll find out which contestant from the yellow group will join him. And it's all thanks to the incredible generosity of our sponsors, our title sponsor Engen Petroleum, our co-sponsor Nedbank, and of course our program organizer Race Corp. I'd also like to give Nedbank an extra thank you on your behalf for this season's amazing viewer competition prizes. Yes, indeed, tonight we are giving away another 5,000 Rand Ever Super Shop voucher, so keep watching if you'd like a chance to get your hands on it. But enough with the talking, it's time to get pitching. Back to represent the Western Cape, here is Zunaid Pillay of Master Consulting Services. Good luck in there, Zunaid.
Welcome, Zunaid.
Good day, judges.
So you understand you got 2 minutes this time, right?
Excited.
And you're ready?
Never been ready, but always have to be.
Okay, cool. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pitch and polish.
Load shedding, an everlasting problem in our economy. We're currently shrinking 3 to 5% on our GDP. With its current economic downscale, the country looks as worse as ever post-apartheid. We need to be growing. We're sitting with a national crisis. With the City of Cape Town's assistance, we intend on feeding back to the grid. How we will be doing that is through commercial and corporate units. I intend on doing a pilot project with a proof of concept of 200 kilowatts as the first ESS, which stands for an energy storage system. Our max capacity at our pilot project would be 4.5 megawatts. The City of Cape Town has an SSEG application, and we have one project that's currently feeding back 2 megawatts to the grid. With this 2 megawatts, we can accomplish between 400 and 1,000 houses to be fully electrified for up to the 4 hours that the City of Cape Town experiences. The rest of the country does have longer load shedding hours and more frequent downtime. I do believe that once the model has been implemented, we can replicate it to the rest and scale up to the rest of the country. Also, with the 650,000 Rand, I would intend on putting my own investment, and with the help of Nedbank and Engen, if they can give me the 1,600 garages, we'd look at adding generational capacity to the rest of the country and end load shedding within 12 to 18 months per province. Judges, the time is now. Master Consulting Services with you guys of Nedbank, Engen and Race Corp can end this problem, but we need the right partners. If given the opportunity, we will change the economics of this country, and not only the financial GDP, but we'll add to the crime statistics and add value to the economy. I also intend on doing renewable energy in the educational sector, and that way we can make tomorrow's leaders bright future, and we'll add value to the future. Thank you.
Thank you, and 2 seconds left. Well done. Superkazi?
Thanks, Zunaid. So I'm interested to find out about this proof of concept and pilot. So what are you hoping to gain out of it in terms of the outcome? Because obviously it's the thing that's going to determine your success going forward. What exactly are you trying to get out of it?
So the site in specific that we're referring to has a generational capacity of 4.5 megawatts. With the proof of concept, the POC, we intend on making it, the pilot will then become a project base, and then we'll roll out multiple sites with a similar situation. We intend on adding 4.5 megawatts as mentioned, and the outcomes of that would be to add generational capacity to the national grid.
So with the proof of concept, I guess you're planning to make money, and obviously with each installation you make, you're able to then build onto others and grow your business. Do you want to
Correct.
talk a bit more about?
So it's a scalable model. We've intended to do a 200 kilowatt battery system. With a 200 kilowatt battery, it's a tenth of what we'd like to achieve. So the capacity rating of these ESS, the energy storage systems, are 2 megawatts. So it's 1/10 of the output. Once the POC or proof of concept is completed, we can then go into a project-based model and then replicate it across the country.
Everybody is doing something with installations to generate power. What sets you apart?
I've got OEM and supply support, after-sales support. The difference what we are doing is we look at what's known as critical lines. There are various SLDs lines in the country that would add generational capacity in a way that is beneficial to the national grid. Not every site has the ability to feed back 4 megawatts or 4.5 megawatts. So it's pivotal that our areas of interest or areas that we'd like to approach would be beneficial to generational capacity on a large scale and not just residentials. We do have residentials. What sets me apart is I've got the direct support from our OEM and the after-sale support that if anything fails, we don't believe in repairing. We swap it out within 2 hours because energy is 24/7 available to us and Master Consulting Services.
Thank you.
Zunaid, I don't have the technical know-how around solar. I just know that it's important. I just know it's a necessity. Can you tell me, like, as though I'm a 5-year-old, what do you do?
We harness the energy of 5-year-old. We harness the energy as that the sun provides into a solar model, a PV module. That energy then gets stored into a battery system. With the battery system, we can then convert DC into AC, which is what your normal plugs at home use. 230 volts is a lot, so our panels are range from up to 665 at a commercial level. When those yields of the sun comes through, it gets captured on the PV module, the panel. The panel sends it to the inverter then sends it to the battery, and during times of load shedding or what we known as peak periods, we'll then send off the energy that's stored in the battery to the house load. We will then also intend on bringing your electrical bill down, and our target is 50% of the electrical usage at home.
Okay, so based on that, what is your biggest challenge at the moment, besides funding?
Installers. So having walked this road for 4 years now, what we've noticed is there's reluctancy on installers. For a lot of these installers have the experience, but gaining new technologies are just a bit difficult, and the barriers of entry is that the installers and the electrical guys doing the installations doesn't want to understand that we've got the technology to bring your load down. So there's a lot of European appliances in South Africa which uses 110 volts compared to your 220, 240 volts. So with the use of our EM inverters, what it does is through a circuit breaker which is in your board, it will then select the lowest load, like let's just say, for instance, a hairdryer. If the hairdryer can pull 110 volts, we'll then tell the hairdryer, we'll send you the 110 Eskom, sorry, the grid power can then keep its other 110 or 120%, and we'll be drawing only 50% of what you really need. Because I'm not sure if you're familiar with how electricity works, so it's known as a spike wave.
I don't want to go down that road, thank you.
Let's stop there. Yeah.
Whoa.
Let's spark
Pearson
wave. Let's put a spark in that.
Okay.
Right. Just one question for me. How do you make money?
Through installations, and we supply the hardware as well. We do a lease and a rental option over a 5-year period, and during that period there's O&M, operations and maintenance. So what's happened was with load shedding, we've seen in Deep Blue, I'm not sure if I can mention these things on here, but there's power plants in South Africa that weren't maintained in a manner for a 25-year period. So through operations and maintenance, we intend on putting power purchase agreements in place that will secure us for 25 years in the business sector. We will then sell electricity to whatever sites.
I want to put a spark in it. Okay, let's stop there. Zunaid, thanks for your pitch. You may leave.
Thank you. Thank you, judges.
Monique, so you now know how electricity works, right?
I know everything about electricity. I know everything about solar and equipment and installation. Off to start this business.
Okay.
You can
Well-
just see how comfortable he is with the technical side of it. He just goes.
He goes,
Yeah.
and it's hard for him to rein himself away from the
Yes.
watts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excuse the pun.
What?
Yeah. So what are your thoughts?
His pitch definitely improved from last time. But I think what still really was evading me, I think it points to the questions you were asking, is really where you're making the money. And I guess everything kind of is dependent on this proof of concept working as well, which is something that he himself seems like they need to test as well. But yeah, otherwise we'll have to see.
Yeah, I thought, I found he droned on in the beginning. He was definitely reading that whole thing in his head. So he was very technical. He lost me. I think he certainly missed me as a potential investor, because that's what I sit here as, in that role. And yeah, I actually was quite disappointed. I thought he did better last time. Yeah, not a good pitch in my opinion. But anyway, let's go score, see what everyone thinks.
Good.
Zunaid, so this was your second opportunity to pitch. Do you think that you were able to bring the light to the pitch, or you had to put a spike in it?
Put a spike in it, but where darkness prevails, light has to enter. This journey has been a learning curve. I think from where I've come into this competition, in my first pitch till now, I've gained valuable insights that will take our business and my personal values to the next level.
Yeah.
I do believe that this competition is geared up not just for businesses but for entrepreneurs and their personal values to grow.
Yeah.
And I do believe that putting a spike in it is a good thing to a certain extent, and I look forward to learning from you.
Yeah. Let's speak about the industry that you're in, very crucial currently, especially with what we're going through in the country. But listening into the pitch, do you think that perhaps it is too technical for people to understand during a pitch of like 2 minutes?
When your lights goes out for 4 hours, 2 minutes can do a big difference hearing something. The country is not yet at that stage to understand where the energy sector is. Everybody thinks energy, or they use the word renewable energy. We're not just tied down to PV panels. We've got hydro, we've got wind, we've got alternative sources at our disposal. And we live in this beautiful country that has enormous resources at our disposal. I do believe that we should look at what the Development Bank of Southern Africa is doing, and look at atomic nuclear energy. And hopefully we'll get another Coburg in this country.
A quick one, per kilowatt, per kilowatt an hour, if you were to resell the surplus of the energy that you've harnessed from the sun, at what rate would you be reselling?
I've got to say it. Well, the city of Cape Town's got the power and they're giving you R1.27. Unfortunately, the rest of the country through Eskom offers you 79 cents. So it's double almost. And with that being said, it's quite lucrative. What I would recommend households that is going to go the SSEG feedback facilities, don't take the money. Take the credit, because given the situation that you're going to be paying R2.70 to R3 depending on your usage, you're going to still be paying R3 when you indeed electricity come winter. So little advice, someone that's been interested in the industry, rack up those units for winter when the sun doesn't shine.
I always enjoy talking to our contestants after their pitches. It really helps one get a better sense of the experience in front of the judging panel. And speaking of the judges, who are we sending in next? Well, this episode really does have a Western Cape theme. Here back from Cape Town is Mzingisi Tyelingane. Good luck, Mzingisi.
Hi there, Mzingisi. 2 questions. What's that on your head and what's that on the table?
On the table, it's a question you asked previously about how do we track the money that is going inside the pool table. So I just wanted to show you there is a digital coin counter on the machine.
Okay.
On top here, it's M Games, it's Kwekwe, it's a Xhosa traditional attire.
Okay.
Yes,
With some branding.
with some branding.
I love it.
Yes, thanks.
Mzingisi, are you ready?
Yes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pitch and polish.
Good day, my name is Mzingisi Tyelingane is my surname. I'm the director of the company called Engen. What we do is that we manufacture all kinds of pool tables. We also do the rentals of pool tables to ship-ins, pubs, but pool tables are beyond ship-ins. We've introduced pool tables with the partnership with NPOs to schools. What we do for our targeted market is that we create an alternative income for them. Our USP is that we contribute financially to the township small businesses. We've got competition in the business. We're competing against 1 in Cape Town, 3 outside the Cape Town. Their strength is they are supplying retail. Our focus is we're focusing on the township. And we are also coming for retail because on the 22nd, we'll be showcasing our products at the Decorex. And also, we are busy with our social marketing. Our current turnover is 1 million per annum. Our gross profit is 42%, and our net profit is 7%. We are currently requesting this 650 investment in order for us to have power to market our product. Currently, we cannot market our product fully. We want to import a slate, 260 slates, that will cost 350,000. With the other money, we will buy wood to produce 100 pool tables. The 100,000 will buy some machinery that we don't have, and the investment will help us increase our revenue by 66%, and it will also help our business to be restructured the way we vision it. Because currently we are operating in 141 square meter. We would like to make that bigger. Thank you for listening.
Okay. Mzingisi, we've got questions from the judges. Let's start with you.
Yes, thanks, Mzingisi. Yeah, you mentioned that your annual revenue is about R1 million. What is the split of that revenue between your outright sales of your pool tables and the rentals? What's the split there?
Currently, thanks to the guide, we are selling our pool tables 6 to 15 at our peak. And that is constrained by we are constrained by the supply of slates. So we could sell more, but we currently have 50 sites that are operational every day that are bringing us sustainable income. We would like to grow the rental side because it's more sustainable for Engen.
So the 1 million, you'd say what, 60-40 between what you sell and what you income from renting?
The 1 million, it's currently a 50-50. Because sometimes it's a rentals that is higher, sometimes it's a sales that is higher.
Okay, and you speak about growing at 66%?
Yes.
Is that in the next year or how many years?
It will take us 5 months to to produce 100 tables. But what we say is that we've got people in the Eastern Cape that are waiting for our product, especially to put it in the market. We've got a person in Joburg that is waiting. I'm also, the Cape Town side is established. It can run itself without me. I'm going to the Free State where I'm comfortable and where I'm relevant with the market. I don't know if that makes sense.
So the 66% will come from the additional 50 tables that you
The 66% will come from the 100 rental tables. Because, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say is that the 66% will come from the combination of the rentals, the tables that we'll be renting out, and the sales that we are hoping to get from Decorex and the marketing that we're currently receiving from Raise Corp page, or also the appointed social media marketer that we've appointed.
Cool, thanks.
Monique?
I want to expand on what Sipakazi's raised around the rental piece. I'm assuming that the profit sharing model that you have is based on the rental piece, right? Or is it on the sold tables as well? So
no, it's on the rental piece.
It's only on the rental piece.
Yes.
So that's 40. You said about 40% of your business is on the rental piece. At what point are you sharing profit? How much of money does that rental device have to make before you start sharing profit with them? Or is it is it monthly, is it weekly? How are you sharing profit with them?
Currently, M Games, when it comes to rentals, we share on an income sharing scale. So whatever is generated by the pool table on your site, if your pool table has generated 600, M Games will say, what we're looking for is 400, then you'll take 200. But if your pool table has generated 600 Rand and more, you'll get 40% and we get 60%. But if your pool table has generated 1,000, that's when we go 50-50. Then you take 50%, then we take. So we cash up on fortnight basis. So we skip a week, then we are on you.
Okay. And the rented pool tables, you fully recoup the costs of those?
Exactly,
assets.
yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I've got two questions, also back to the rental side. So you're expanding now. You've got the money. You've got another 100 pool tables. You've moved into other regions. How do you actually collect the cash? How do you know if you are you've got a pool table in a different city? Does somebody physically have to go there, look at that number on that machine, that digital counter, and then say, this is how much it is, hand me the cash?
So what we teach our technicians that go on site, when they open a pool table, they first have to write a pool table, in brackets the number that is there on the machine. So we are able on our side to be able to calculate. But we've got technicians that the former colleagues, former colleagues, they know exactly what to do on the site. So those are the ways that we track. But we've seen, it's not our competitor, but we've liked their model, which is Grand Slot South Africa, where they install perhaps, that's a model that we are thinking in order for us to limit us going physically to your site. We are trying, what they're doing is that they will install a CCTV camera to monitor their machine, whatever happens. And I believe they've got all the softwares that are helping them monitor the safety and if there's any opening on that.
Okay, so it's just to explain that, where are you based?
Cape Town.
If you've got a pool table in Kathu, Northern Cape,
Yes.
how would you collect that cash? No.
It will be physical.
Okay.
It will
All right,
be physical.
second question. When you import the slates, what's your competition going to do to you? Do you think they're just going to say, okay, or do you think they'll react?
Mostly in the years we started with renting pool tables. We were reliant on the supply of raw material of everything, accessories, on the from the competitors. Now I think we are a fear to them. They are fearing us, so that's why they're limiting us. So I think the leveling field will be level now.
So what they're going to do? My point is how they're going to react.
How they're going to react?
No. Okay. All right. Mzingisi, you may leave. Thank you.
Thank you.
Monique, sure. Don't think you answered some of those questions too well. Or for me, he didn't anyway.
Yeah, he didn't. But you know what I will give him credit for is that from pitch 1 to pitch 2, it's a completely different business person.
Yeah.
He's confident. He reminded me when I saw the paper in his hand how many pitches we had previously where they were carrying papers with notes. But just his whole demeanor. He was here to speak about his own business that he knows well, and he was going to tell us about it. So I thought that was fantastic. I just loved his confidence. I do see potential in the business, especially in terms of the rental piece. I see where he's going in terms of getting in the slate, manufacturing additional units, and then renting them out. I was worried about the profit sharing model, but I think the finances will unpack that further when we dig.
Your thoughts?
Mzingisi. I definitely felt he polished. He did. But just interestingly is that he's got lots to think about, with his future plans, how he gets things done, because the further out he goes out of Western Cape, the more difficult it becomes. It means then he needs to innovate how he begins to track everything and collect his money. And yeah, I think he's got much to think about. Otherwise, it was a good pitch.
Yeah, I agree. He definitely polished up. I do think he hasn't thought through scale properly, but overall, a good pitch, but not good answers to the questions. All right, let's score.
So you arrived all branded up today with your pitch. You see the M games there. What does the M stand for?
It stands for my clan Mqiti.
Mqiti.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you get into this business?
It's the business that I saw. It did not require a lot of capital to be in. Then we started with the minimum capital, which was that we have. Then we've managed to grow it to what it is today.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So once you then start doing the manufacturing, does that mean that you'll also then have clients who would actually want to come and buy the pool tables instead of renting them out?
Yes.
And how are you going to work around that?
No, we are currently doing that. We are currently selling 6 to 10 tables a month, depending on on which month are busy. So in December we sold 15 pool tables, and we are looking to sell maybe 30 tables per month.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So that then makes your market a bit smaller when it comes to rentals.
We have to service it. At the end of the day, it's a huge market. If you look at the market, we've got around about, only in the Western Cape, 3,200 ship-ins that M-Games will be in, and we will try to help sustain the ship-ins so that they can be able to be licensed. In that way, we are growing ourselves, so it's a bigger pie.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the reason that I'm asking you this question is because that last question there from Alon around your competitors and how your competitors would react to this.
Yes.
You stumbled there a bit. You didn't have an answer. Now's your opportunity to perhaps give an answer.
My answer to the competition is that we're bringing the game on now. It's going to be game on.
It's M-Games.
M-Games, thank you.
And the game is on.
Thank you.
Thanks for the chat, Mzingisi. Now it's time to chat to our judges before they head off to deliberate. Judges, I'm back. But I'm back to put a spike in it. I'm not pitching, I'm putting a spike in it.
He's trying to get, he comes here every time.
I'm putting a spike in it.
What you're trying to do is extract something from us.
Okay.
The answer, right?
What do you think of Mzingisi?
He was a good contestant.
He was a good contestant. And the numbers, were they convincing?
Some of them. Some of them.
Some of them. Spogazi, who's your favorite out of the two? I'm not saying who you're going to nominate to go to the next round, but who's your favorite out of the two?
I am not letting the cat out of the bag.
So you're not
You
putting
have to wait and see.
You're putting a spike on it.
You're not
But
getting
at
out
least
of me.
Zunaid came and he said, like, listen, with the 1,600 garages that Engen has, that maybe Engen can plug into his business as well.
Maybe there's opportunity there. We'll have to see.
Maybe there's opportunity
Just maybe.
there. Monique, were you convinced by Zunaid this time around? Did you think he came across more confident?
Yes, he definitely came across more confident. Good pitch.
Yeah.
It's
And
good to see the progress from one pitch to the other.
to the other. And with Mzingisi, the last time he focused more on the Western Cape and now he's speaking about the Free State as well. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think he's got it was good. Also, his pitch was really good. I loved his positivity. I think he's got to think a little bit more about that scalability of the business right now. The devil is in the detail.
The devil is in the detail. Alon, any favorites from your end?
Gonna put
Or something that let me put it this way. Let me put it this way.
Maybe the devil's not in the detail. Maybe
Hey,
the
the
devil's
devil-
putting it right.
This devil doesn't
But
want
the
to hear
devil
about
always
the
has a
spikes.
fork. The devil always has a fork. Okay, let's wrap it up. Let's see who's going to make it to the next round. While our judges are off deciding whose dream to crush, I think it's the perfect time to meet up with Yasmin Ali for another one of her pitching principle lessons. Take it away, Yas.
Thank you, Eldrin. Tonight, I want to talk about body language. In simple terms, when it comes to pitching, you need to keep your body language open, you want to keep your movements small, and you want to use your hands positively. Now, nobody wants to watch someone standing like a statue with no movement at all. But on the other hand, you don't want to go to the opposite extreme. Let's watch the beginning of the pitch from Classy Muruti from Classy Wines. He warned the judges that he speaks with his hands, but I don't think any of us were quite ready for just how much he used his hands or his body movements.
So you seem very confident today, Klaasi?
Yeah, no, you need to. You can't be a CEO then you are not confident. How will you represent your company?
Okay, and is any of that confidence coming from your alcohol? Did you?
No, not yet. After maybe.
After?
Yeah.
Cool. You've got 90 seconds, you know that, right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. And please don't mind me because I am into, like, I explain with my hands. So please don't mind me.
We don't mind you.
Okay, thank you. I will really appreciate it.
I speak with my hands. There's a running joke at Race Corp that if you want me to keep quiet, just tie my hands together. But in any presenting scenario, you need to ensure that your audience is focused on your message and the key points that you're trying to bring across to them. Too much movement detracts from your message and can become very distracting. After Klaasi has been asked to leave, Alon makes the comment, "That was tough to listen to." Klaasi's verbal presentation was a little all over the place, but his constant movement also made it that much harder to listen to him. There were just too many things to pay attention to. So this evening's pitching principle is stand your ground. Try to lightly anchor yourself to a spot on the ground. Keep your hand movements small with your elbows at your side and try to maintain eye contact with your audience. Thank you for joining me for another pitching principle. Back to you, Eldrin.
Another insightful analysis from Yasmin Ali. Thank you. And I've been told that our judges are ready to tell us who will be joining Moses in the semi-final round of the 2023 Engen Pitch Polish competition.
Good day, gentlemen. It's that unenviable time of Engen Pitch Polish where we have to make the decision to ask one of you to leave. So I'm going to talk through both your positives and your negatives, and I'm going to start in the order that you came into this round. So we'll start with you, Zunaid. On the positive, your authority in the space, in the industry came across very, very strongly. If anyone doesn't believe you know everything about electricity, I don't know where they are, because you understand it. You understand what seems to be the problem, the need out there right now. And I think from a business perspective, the timing is perfect, as you know. It really is perfect. And I think also the progress that you seem to have made so far is really, really great. On the negative side, too much jargon. SLD, PV, O&M. No, these are all jargon that you live in your world. If you are pitching, especially to an investor who's not a domain expert like we are, then you lose us. So we're going, what is that O&M or that PV or the SLD? What does that mean? And while we're thinking about it, we're not listening to you. Your pitch was very much around the problem, that's in the market, and everyone knows and everyone's experiencing load shedding right now, so everyone understands the problem. You spent too much time in your pitch on the problem, way too much time. So you saw were whipping us with the problem. What we wanted here is the commercials. Okay, how are you going to make money from this problem? So you lost that momentum because you spent 3/4 of your time talking about the problem. Your pitch felt like you were reading it in your head. It was certainly hugely improved than the last time. You were incredibly nervous. You were far better this time. So kudos to you. But you were still reading it in your head. And the benefits of, you weren't expressing the benefits to me. So I missed the commercials and the benefits. You focused on the problem and the solution, not the commercials and the benefits. So if you get through to the next round, that's something that you need to work on. Mzingisi, also a much improved pitch from you. I love your attire, your personality came through. The fact that you brought through the counter, the digital counter was great. I like the mention of new markets. That gives me as an investor an idea about the fact that this has got the ability to find new opportunities. You spoke about your competition. It feels like you understand your competition. You were part of the competition, so you understand the market really well. And I think what you did really, really well was explain what you would do with the 650,000 Rand. Like when I listened to that, I thought I would do exactly the same thing, bringing in the slates, the machinery, etc. On the negative, you felt like you were out of breath. Like when you were speaking, it felt like you were out of breath, like you had run from Cape Town to the studio, you know, to give your pitch. From an investor's perspective, when we think about scale, we understand that scale creates complexity and complexity creates failure. So many businesses, as they scale, fail as a result of scale. Not when they're small, they can survive, but when they're big, they fail. You haven't thought through scale properly. When we ask you now, if you expand, you know, now you get another 200, 300, you go to other provinces, what you're going to do, how you're going to collect the money, you haven't thought through that. So you're only thinking quite short term, and as an investor, I want to know that you're thinking long term. And you didn't talk about demand. You didn't say the market size is so-and-so, the competitors have this is how much opportunity we still have in the market. But to both of you, much better pitches. Certainly Pitch and Polish is about polishing, and both of you are certainly polished up. But one of you has to leave today, and the person who's going to leave today is Zunaid. You may leave. Thank you. Well done to you, and please take all the feedback. Make sure you bring it into the next round, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.
Very well done to Mzingisi. You've made Cape Town proud tonight. Zunaid, I'm sorry that you'll be leaving the competition, but I know that you're taking away valuable lessons and that you'll use them to take your business from strength to strength. I wish you all the best. And with that said, it's time for our viewer competition. I'm sure you can't wait to get your entry in, so I won't keep you in suspense for a second longer. Here's tonight's question. What was Monique from Nedbank's first question to Zunaid? What was Monique from Nedbank's first question to Zunaid? Do you want to win that 5,000 Rand Ever Super Shop voucher from Nedbank? Of course you do. All you have to do is send us a WhatsApp with your name and the right answer to 068 707 5187 before midnight tonight. We'll pick the winner through a random draw and contact them before 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We'll also post the winner's name on social media later this week. And that's all she wrote, folks. Let's make a date for next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. to find out who will be joining Moses and Mzingisi in the semi-finals. It's good night from me, Aldrin St-Pierre. I'll catch you on the pitch side.
It is a competition. There can only be one coming out. And I do wish Mzee everything of the best. Load shedding will be here for a long time. And hopefully the city of Johannesburg will be powered by Master Consulting Services in the near future.